Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Down to Earth Podcast. You know I said it, Down to Earth
With a two.
Podcast. I'm your first co-host, Demario Daryl Crosby. This is your second co-host,
JP.
JP Morgan. What did he say?
Wow. Hey, compliment of a bank. Oh,
Right. But man, how are you, brother? Talk to me.
I'm good.
Haven't seen you in a little bit.
Yeah. Yesterday. Wow. No, I'm good, man. Another good week.
Okay.
Week 3 of meal prepping.
Ooh, congratulations.
So I'm on my second week of eating it. So this will be another good week.
Eat it.
I can't get away. Anyway.
You got me last week.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. Anyway, meal prepping. That feels good. I haven't done the gym yet, but I'm taking pride in the small steps I'm doing of staying consistent with the meal prep. Definitely can tell weekly that I'm saving a lot more money.
Ooh,
a lot more money.
That's always a good thing.
My Aldi bill was like $100 on the dot. And lately, I would do like $15 for breakfast, and then anywhere from $20 to $35 for lunch/dinner.
Getting a buffet.
But then it's like, then I want an energy drink and a snack, so add another $10.
Yeah.
And so my Aldi for one full week, and that's snacks. I got drinks, desserts, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all that for $100. That's gonna last me probably almost more than a week.
Oh, really?
And I'm at $100 within 2 to 3 days, Monday through Wednesday. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. That's an absurd.
I mean, you gotta
number.
eat, because if you don't,
right? You do gotta eat.
But
right.
yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, so I'm on week 3 of spending that, and I'm just like, I almost feel like I have a new job because of how much extra money I have.
Well, congrats on that, bro.
Thanks.
Decent.
And work's good. Still another catching up, but closing stuff out for the end of the year.
There you go.
So I'm getting a lot of my time back. Not having to do early mornings, late nights.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, getting the mindset back in a good place, setting stuff up for the end of the year, and starting to get the mindsets that I want to shift going into next year in full force. So I'm sure one of our future episodes we'll talk about goals and where we're at mentally. So in the meantime, though, I'm straight.
Okay.
How you doing, Marky?
Okay. Man, this week has been good. First and foremost, I get the information out there. I found a gig. I told you guys last week, but I found the gig.
The gig, baby.
So,
let's go.
Excited to get that started and get that ball rolling, going into that next chapter. That's going to be fun. This week has also been just a week of observing myself and become aware of how I do things and how I do things with other people, or how I act in certain situations. So just writing that down in my book that I said I started, and understanding myself more so I can grow and be a better person and vibe a little bit better. So overall, that's it for me. As far as with anything being consistent, I haven't been really going to the gym. Yeah, that was my thing. I was supposed to stay consistent with.
You guys, as in you and your significant other, do you guys don't meal prep, but you're cooking for your meals, and then obviously you're gonna eat out here and there, obviously.
Right, we only eat out on Fridays.
Yeah,
but for sure we don't cook that day. That's a little fun.
But you're not meal prepping, but you're still cooking.
Yeah, we're
still cooking.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm still eating decent.
Right.
Like that.
Gotcha.
But I do want to later, I want to get some, sea moss and shit like that.
Sea moss. Gotta do that juice cleanser we're talking about.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Get the body right. Siri, remind me.
See, now we don't know if it's recording no more. Now I gotta check. Oh yeah, we're good.
No, damn what that phone didn't hit it. But
I'm
anyway.
only checking now because we have to redo this episode for those out there. Things happen. You just got to go with it.
That's true.
And we just did, I want to say, about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we realized the microphone was off. We're trying a new microphone here.
Yes. 100%.
And so we already did this episode.
And it's interesting. It's just different because we didn't let ourselves get into the mindset of crybaby.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would have, this probably would have went different. But
we're actually even more positive now.
I was going to say,
started.
yes.
And I think that's a sentiment to our mindset shifting, because if you guys remember, I forgot which episode it was, but we had the same thing where my phone storage went full and we couldn't record anymore. And that was probably like the least energetic and positive episode that we've ever released.
Yeah.
because we went into it with, I can't believe that happened. That sucks. But we got to get something out there because we got to stay consistent. Let's just do it.
Yeah, get it over with.
And
yeah.
I think it's crazy how with that one versus this one, you know, you're still getting it done because it needs to be done. But
Correct.
why not just stay positive and realize that shit happens?
Correct. And shit's always going to happen.
Right. Someone could come in right now, ruin the whole interview. Hey, you guys got to get out. We're closing the library. We're closing early.
Why?
Right. It's like, oh, hey, guys. Yeah, see you later.
Can you get us 5?
Hey, hold the camera. Hold the camera.
No, that's a very
and
good
that's
point.
that's something that I'm going to make sure I carry into next year for sure.
Oh,
You know, I've always been good at,
100%.
Shit happens, but I want to make sure that when that stuff does happen, I'm replying or I am reacting positively instead of just saying, hey, well, let's just do it. Let's just get it done.
Staying consistent to what you said that you were going to do.
And I feel like
it's going to be this.
Going into this like this after this mishap. No, I just said this like 8 times.
You did, but it's all good. This, that.
We could still stay true to what we're trying to do with the podcast to give value instead of just saying, oh, we got to crank something out. And then people listening to it like, oh, I just listened to 2 robots talk about 5 things for 14 minutes and that's it. So yeah. So I'm kind of glad that happened. 2 robots. Rather still it wouldn't happen. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Drake. Shout out Drake. No new friends. I don't remember how that song goes. But question for you is
Drake take this whole fucking pocket.
Hey, you get the OVO logo somewhere. I'm cool. You want to pay us a couple bucks? We're down. Anyway, question for you. How do you go into meeting new people? Whether it's at the grocery store, whether it's a party, going to an event. When you meet somebody for the first time, do you kind of go into it with they're just going to be another face? Do you try and maybe see if you can build a true friendship out of it? A business relationship possibly right away? How do you kind of go into, generally meeting new people?
Yeah, I would say the way that I go about it is I don't put any assumptions or expectations on whoever I meet. I leave it just, and this is how I've always been. So that's why I'm saying this. I'm not just saying it for the podcast. But
do we realize
I usually just be like, oh, I'm meeting a person. I'm going to talk to them. Like even if they are a person, let's say if I met like a Greg Crondall or something like that, right? At like a party, which would be pretty lit. But I wouldn't be like trying to like, oh, I'm going to make sure this is going to happen. I'm just like, whatever happens, and it's like whatever's happened is going to be meant to be or whatever. You know what I mean? So I just go into it, and if I meet somebody, it's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to. My only goal is to build rapport and come off as a nice person.
Okay.
That's it. And wherever that leads me to, it's going to be because I did it without trying actually
to force anything.
You know what I mean? It's just like naturally happening. So always just do it that way. Whoever I meet, doesn't matter who it is.
Okay.
What about you?
I usually go into it with the expectation that they're just going to be another face that I'll never see again. But I don't use that because it comes off as a negative connotation. I still go into it as a nice, professional, caring human being. And, if I never see them again, whatever. But I'm not going to use that as a reason to be condescending or
peaceful.
I don't remember what word I was about to try to say, but or like mean or rude or anything. And but so I'll rebuttal with that and say, so that's like maybe like days and stuff, like random days, a gas station, whatever. What about if you were to actually go to a e-commerce event? Would you go into that with that same mindset, or would you kind of try and shift it into the goal today is to come out with business relationships? Even if it's not a friendship, still somebody that you could add to the contact list that is really good on this platform or really good with ads or how would you go? Because I don't think you've done any e-commerce events yet, have you?
No, I haven't went to anything.
So if you were, we'll play the what if game a little bit. How would you go into that?
When it comes down to it, I would do it the same exact way. And the only reason I say that is because I know about myself that any forced situations, it's going to feel forced. Well, both people will know because I'm going to give off that energy of like, this isn't like this. Maybe this isn't the person I should be talking to, whatever. So, and doesn't matter what environment it is. It could be for business. It could be just for fun, whatever. I just go in, be myself and just be a nice person and see where it goes. Because if I do anything forced, I'm gonna overdo my part
Hmm.
because I know that about myself, and I know I would do that, and it will come off either as like I'm doing too much, or maybe this isn't the person I should be talking to, or just something that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, just
So
the negative mindset starts to come in. Yeah.
correct, and usually like a thing that I have been realizing so much now since I've been into sales and everything is mindset is very important.
Mm.
Like I always said, mindset is important, and all that, but I'm actually starting to get the feeling of setting the mindset before I get on the call, or setting a mindset before I go around people or something like that. You know,
Hmm.
people I don't know. Like, because if I go in a mindset of, oh, I don't know anybody, no one's gonna like talk to me or whatever, da 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 da, it's probably not gonna go as good. But if I'm just like, hey, I'm here and I'm just gonna be myself and I'm chilling and whatever happens happens, things usually tend to go way better when I
Yeah.
do that. So,
Okay.
yeah, me personally though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, and I believe that's the right way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'll be honest. I think that I go into parties and stuff. We'll put that off to the side. We'll just stick to like events based on
Business
the
and
business that you're
investments.
currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I go into it robotically in the way where, okay, this is about business.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fun in business. We're all here to, either make a connection that we need
Mm-hmm.
or where we can offer a service to end up, benefiting in the future of either getting paid, getting leads, getting whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized this year, especially with real estate events and, brokerage events and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is that going in with that mindset, I get nothing. And I believe that I will forever get nothing
Mm-hmm.
because business and pleasure, that people say not to mix that, just like you don't mix business with family.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've realized is you need to enjoy the people that you're working with
Correct.
on that friend level in a way, or just that
Mm.
energy level.
I get you.
And with not having that, you're always going to have, like you say, forced relationships,
Correct. Yeah.
which even if they could be beneficial, I don't think that they would be as great as they possibly could be
Mm-hmm.
in the sense
Mm-hmm.
of, if you can go out, me and you can go out and have a good time and then do business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that business is going to be that much better than if it's like a meeting 8 o'clock. Okay, we got this out of the way. Okay, let's make sure we're applying it. You don't have that energy that you're trying to
Correct.
throw into it
It's
to
just like
push
let's
it that
get
much
it over
better.
with. And,
Right.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, and this is a mindset that I want to adapt a little bit
Mm-hmm.
in the following year, is just go in to have fun
Mm-hmm.
because that's what life's about anyway. You got to have fun.
Correct.
So I'm going to go to these events, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to meet people while you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that relationship grows into either a friendship or business, then that's just a double bonus.
Yeah.
But you went into it, had fun. Like when we went to that event out of nowhere, the
Oh,
downtown,
yeah.
at the club,
Yeah.
you had fun. And if you just went into that specific event
Mm-hmm.
on a straight business, I need this, you would have got nothing out of that.
No.
You would have got nothing. Everybody's
Nothing.
having fun, dancing, drinking, eating,
Talking,
whatever.
Yeah, just chatting.
And yeah, so
And we did end up meeting people, and I got a couple people's social medias, but like it didn't turn into anything yet, or didn't turn into anything at all.
yeah,
But I still, got
Yeah.
the information
Yeah.
and everything. So if I ever do see that person again, be like, oh, remember?
yeah, you have that
You know what I
rapport
mean?
built up, like you brought up earlier.
Correct.
So I think that's one of my downfalls in business management for my own business is definitely going in wanting to do straight up business right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think is the way to go about growing your business, especially if you're what I would consider like a small fish in a big pond.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
So yeah.
I like that.
So on that same topic, then we'll jump into a little bit of business with family then.
Okay.
And if you want to go first, or if you want me to go first, how do you think of business with family?
Yeah.
Would you work with them?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you draw the line? Is it something you'd rather just stay away from? What's your mindset on that whole thing?
Well, like I said earlier, I've just been doing a lot of self-awareness by myself, and my answer changes about that a lot. To be honest with you, like at first, when I first started really trying, like getting into business and like liking it and being like, oh, this is something that's like a good fit for me. Like I'm like, no, 100% don't want to do anything with family when it comes down to that because no, it's not good. It never works out. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm more or less like I'm looking at it as the challenge that it would provide me to be in those situations of working with family, of seeing how I would handle conflict of someone not keeping in on their bargain, or not doing something, whatever, how would I come off? And I mean, it's not just me; it's that person as well. But I'm fascinated with the challenge of it, and like I say, I'm not 100% away from it, but I'm not 100% like
in it either.
I want to do it. I'm more like 50-50, and me personally, right now, as the person I am today, I would try it out for sure, and because we just never know what it could lead out to. It could lead out to something really good, or it could lead out to something bad. But at least I know. At least I did it,
Sure.
and I exposed myself to that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more of a 50-50.
Okay.
And I'm more, I guess, I'm just more. I would do it just to test it out.
Open-minded.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it specifically not for the outcome, specifically for just the process.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
I think I'm more cut and dry on that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really hard for me to do like 50-50s with anybody in the family.
Mm-hmm.
The only example would be, shout out Jason, my brother.
Jason.
It would be like a property flip, because I know a little bit about construction, and I have the hardworking mindset. He knows a lot about construction, and he's one of the hardest working people that I know. And I think that would be a good fit, because we would know the goal and we would want to both achieve it.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for other aspects of business, but I don't think I would want to do 50-50 with anything outside of that current example at a point where I'm at right now in life. The only other way I could see mixing family with business would be if I got to a point where I would be able to hire my closest relatives, mom, dad, brother, sister,
type deal,
as working under me for a business, kind of being like, hey, you don't have to, hey mom, you don't have to go work at that company for that person anymore. I'll pay you that or more, and you could be on your own schedule with the things that we have working with right now.
Work for me.
Yeah, right, you can work for me. But outside of that, I think that I would keep it cut and dry, because I feel like most people aren't good with being able to separate business with relationships.
That's tough.
And the example that I'll give is, I had to learn that really early on, 16, 17, 18, when I ran the pizza place, and I dated a coworker.
Yeah.
And, it was new in the relationship, because it's like, oh, we're together. But it's like, hey, right when we clock in, I don't know.
We're not together.
We're not, right. You work under me. You need to listen.
I work above you.
And if you didn't already know that we were together, you wouldn't be able to even guess that there was any type of connection between us, because of how good I am at cutting that off. And there were some times where it was like that person, and we're younger too, so like you have to remember, like 16, 17, 18 years old, it's
big factor.
They're like, oh, my boyfriend runs the place, blah,
so
blah, blah.
You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
no, you're not getting off early just because of that. You're not getting this because of that, whatever. And that definitely, outside of work, I can shut that off easily.
Yeah. But
on their end, it was kind of harder to understand, because that's just, that's fun and games. But for me, that's business, my well-being, my life, my money that I'm currently trying to make.
Right.
And ain't nobody getting in the way of that.
You can't mess up that paper.
You can't mess up that paper, baby.
He like paper.
But with family, it would be, if I did do something and it didn't work, say under me, and I fire just, aunt, uncle, cousin, extended family, whatever, I'd be able to fire them for the business reason, and then go to a family party that night, and not have any negative energy towards that. Where I don't think that 99% of people on the receiving end of that would be able to be okay with that. And for that reason, I wouldn't want to mess up the relationship or even take the chance, which is why I'm so cut and dry with it on that, for sure.
Yeah, I get you.
I could fire you from this Down to Earth podcast today, and we could go out and party tomorrow.
Cap. Cap. The fuck? I'm just trying to cry over that.
Well, yeah. Okay. So on to the next one. Younger friends versus older friends. We just touched on this a little bit. I believe I might have a little bit more to say on that than you. And, now that I asked the question, and we'll use Leaf, shout out Leaf.
Shout out Leaf, man. Shout out to make them buzz remember.
You're going to want to check from us if you get notice on this podcast. Anyway,
you need to give us a check.
I've been hanging out with him and his group a little bit more, and they're 3-4 years younger, and they're still in that full-blown, either graduating from college or just graduated, and in that, every Friday, Saturday night, let's house party, let's go out, let's do
Let's have some
whatever.
fun.
And and on the flip of that, I have my older friends, shout out Mr. Lucas, working on the book stuff, full blown author and all that stuff. And it's crazy to me because one weekend it's going to be, I'm hanging out with the older friends, older group, people that I know, and it's all about let's go have a nice lunch, let's have a really nice dinner, talk about what's going on in life right now, and then it's down to, we each go around the table kind of and say, hey, this is what I'm working on, what do you guys think? And usually it's funny too because we'll bring like full blown folders and we'll treat it like a business meeting, but we're going into it having fun, catching up, let's have a couple drinks. But then it's like, hey, I'm running into these issues with this stuff in the author process or publishing or the construction business or whatever that person's doing, and kind of have a roundtable discussion. And that's their Friday night hangout, their Saturday night hangout. And then the following weekend, it's, hey, we're meeting at, shout out Dom, meeting at Dom's house, a little house party, going out having fun. And it's crazy to see the difference in that. And I won't necessarily say that it's an age difference, but maybe more of a maturity, or you're so deep into what you're trying to accomplish that you'd rather use your fun time to push that forward, being like, say, the author business, whatever you're currently working on, rather than have the night be all about partying and having fun, which there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is your mindset on that with younger friends versus older friends, or just what people are trying to achieve? And I know that back when you were at Best Buy, you kind of had a mix of the older and younger group.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to the Best Buy gang, for sure. Definitely. Gang. Yeah. Gang. Best Buy. Blue and yellow. No, man. But man, I don't know, bro. All my life, honestly, I had like a good mixture. And when I say good mixture, not older and younger, but just like a mix of like what we can talk about in the group. So like, for example, for like Best Buy, bro, I had people that I can talk business with. I had people that we just talk like fun stuff with, just crack jokes, or we just talk about like how life is right now in the moment, or like always had like a good structure like that around me. Shout out to all the people that like I've been around since like sixth grade, right? Dooney, Dave, Ernest. Like there's been a lot of people, and Jeff, shout out Jeff. And with those people, I can have those adaptable conversations. So for me personally, in my experience, when it came down to this, I always had that adaptability with the younger or the older. So it was never like, I'm in the younger, so I'm going to act this way, or I'm in the older, I'm going to act this way. It was always, I guess I just came into it how I would come into like meeting someone new. No expectations on it. Whatever we talk about, whatever happens is going to happen. But I can see the differences between the two for sure, as far as, because, I met Mr. Lucas, shout out again to him, and I see the structure of us three having the conversations versus the structure of me, you, and like Leaf or whatever. And again,
totally different.
And again, it's not a good or bad. It's just a different. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what happens when people are in different areas of their life or whatever. But I think it's very interesting, to say the least. I would say that 100%. But I would say for me, it's just whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean?
And personally, like, I don't say I love a lot of things. I love that difference in dynamic because I feel like it makes me such a much more well-rounded person.
I would say this before you keep going into that: you need it, because again, like you said, if you're always about business, one, like, you're gonna ruin a lot of things. I think that like happens. Possibly, I don't know, because I don't have the experience as well. Because there's other people that are older that probably do just that and probably had a hell of a time. But I think for me, it's just I always thrive when I'm well balanced, or like overall.
I wasn't even talking business. I was talking, I love the fact of having younger friends
and older friends, right?
Having younger friends and their mindset and being around that more. It's more because it's more energetic, regardless. Because
100%.
That's what it's always going to be.
That's how it was.
You got around like people our age, me, you, Jeff, Ernest, Dave, Sean, all that, and how that dynamic is. But then, I also have the older people from the like business stuff, like, shout out Derek from Nancy's. I have people that have run businesses. I have people that are like doing their own thing, that are older, retired, on their own adventures. And I love the fact that at any point I could just change to talking to somebody that's just like living life right now in the moment. Then I could talk to somebody that's struggling in their construction business. And then I could talk to somebody that just sold their business for $500,000 and they're on to, writing a book about what they're doing. And I think that just makes me such a well-rounded person
Yes.
and opens my eyes to being able to jump from, hey, I can live in the moment now and enjoy it and not worry about what the future brings, but then jump right into, I don't have to worry about what the future brings because I can't control what's going to happen, but I can still have my goals and my process of how I'm trying to achieve it. And I have different people that at different points that I know when I start, you can pull it right. And it's a mutual loving relationship.
100%.
And, when I start my brokerage and I start doing stuff, I know a couple people I can reach out to and be like, hey, give me a couple warnings of what not to do.
Correct.
Even farther down the line when I'm starting to do flips. Hey, you got to, like, what do I got to make sure goes right with the water pipes and this and that? And then, when I want to start doing rentals and, stuff, even when I jump into the poker world and I start going serious on that, I have a buddy that I met online that's in Vegas that lives, or he's in California, that lives based on how much he makes on the poker table. And so I really love the fact of having just different people that are doing different things that are all on different paths in their life, whether they're married, have kids, don't have kids, don't want kids. So,
yeah, I think it's good to have, and I think it's also good just for certain situations that you get in. Right. I think for like the younger demographic, it'll be like, let's say you get in a situation and like it's really bothering you. They'll be like, "Yo, chill out. Like we just chilling." And I think that's very important to have. They have a more like, all right, well, I can't control it. Well, some of them. I'm not gonna say all of them because everyone's different. It just depends. But with that, it usually comes a less attachment for that group. In the older group, it's like they're more understanding your situation. They're trying to like think how to like navigate it with you rather than just being like, that shit. Let's just do this. Let's just that. But I think that's also it's very good to have both of those groups always, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. And like, comment, subscribe, share. We'd appreciate that. We shall see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.